you will not earn $1,000,000. If you stay around people with a $20 mindset, because no matter how much talent you carry inside, no matter how many dreams burn in your chest, the people around you act like gravity. They will either pull you higher into the sky or drag you down into the dirt, and most people do not even realize how much their life is limited not by their ability, but by their associations. If your circle is filled with small minds, with people who only see limitations, who only talk about bills, gossip, fears, and problems, then that energy becomes your reality. You shrink without noticing. You doubt your own potential without realizing it. You give up on big moves because no one around you believes it is possible. And slowly your $1,000,000 dream suffocates under the weight of their $20 thinking. But if you change your circle, if you walk away from mediocrity, if you start surrounding yourself with people who think bigger, who act bolder, who live with courage, then your mindset transforms, your standards rise, your actions align with growth, and suddenly the million is not a dream but a target within reach. Because proximity shapes destiny, who you allow in your ear becomes the architect of your future. A $20 mindset is not about money in the bank. It is about how someone thinks. It is about how they see the world. And people with this mindset live in scarcity. They see time as something to waste instead of something to invest. They see money as something to spend instead of something to multiply. They see opportunity as something to fear instead of something to seize. They live in cycles of waiting for paychecks, complaining about luck, envying those who succeed, and dragging down anyone who dares to dream bigger. They are prisoners of their own fear. And if you spend your life in their presence, you will inherit their chains. Because you cannot soar with eagles if you keep walking with chickens. You cannot think like a lion if you are surrounded by sheep. Your environment is either fuel or poison. And most people never reach their potential because they keep drinking poison daily without realizing it. Think about it. When you want to grow muscle, you do not train with people who quit after 2 push-ups. You put yourself in the room with those who lift heavy, those who challenge your limits, those who will not let you settle for weakness, because their strength forces you to grow stronger. And the same law applies to wealth. If you want to earn $1,000,000, you must surround yourself with $1,000,000 minds. You must absorb their thinking, their strategies, their discipline, their energy, because the conversations you hear daily become the programming of your mind. If all you hear is small talk, complaints, gossip, blame, you are programmed for mediocrity. But if all you hear is vision, execution, resilience, persistence, creativity, and expansion, you are programmed for greatness. And once your mind shifts, your life will follow. Because wealth is created first in the mind and then in the world. The tragedy is most people never cut themselves free. They stay loyal to circles that keep them small. They confuse comfort with friendship. They confuse gossip with connection. They confuse being liked with being supported. But hear me, not everyone who laughs with you is aligned with your future. Not everyone who grew up with you deserves to grow with you. Not everyone who claps when you are down will clap when you rise. And sometimes the hardest, but most necessary step is to distance yourself from the people you love but who are not aligned with your growth. Because love without alignment is chains. Loyalty without growth is death. And if you keep choosing loyalty to the wrong circle over loyalty to your own potential, you will bury your dreams alive just to keep others comfortable. You must understand that $1,000,000 is not luck. It is not magic. It is a byproduct of mindset, discipline, consistency, and courage. It comes from solving bigger problems, from creating bigger value, from refusing to settle for smallness, and that cannot happen inside a circle of people who cannot even imagine abundance, who laugh at risk, who worship comfort, who run from growth. Their energy will suffocate your hunger. Their doubts will water down your fire, and you will end up living their life instead of yours. You will look back years later and realize you never even tried, because their voices became louder than your own. So you must make a choice. Do you want comfort now or freedom later? Do you want approval now or success later? Do you want to fit in or do you want to break out? Because you cannot have both. Greatness and comfort cannot live in the same room. A $20 mindset plays for survival. A $1,000,000 mindset plays for legacy. The first is about making it to the weekend. The second is about building something that will feed generations. The first is about complaining about the system. The second is about learning how to master it. The first is about waiting for opportunities. The second is about creating them. And the distance between both is your circle, your habits, and your willingness to pay the price. Because abundance requires sacrifice. It requires walking away from the crowd. It requires choosing discipline over distraction. It requires saying no to short-term pleasure for long-term wealth. And many cannot handle it, which is why they stay stuck. But if you want the million, you must be willing to live differently, to think differently, to walk alone if necessary. Because loneliness on the path to greatness is better than being surrounded by company on the road to mediocrity. Your life is a mirror of your standards. Your bank account is a reflection of your mindset. And your future is shaped by your circle. If you spend time with 5 complainers, you will be the 6th. If you spend time with 5 broke thinkers, you will be the 6th. If you spend time with 5 disciplined achievers, you will be the 6th. It is inevitable because humans are wired for influence. We adapt to the energy around us. And if you want a different life, you must consciously choose a different environment. You must put yourself where the conversations scare you because they're bigger than what you are used to. You must place yourself where you are the smallest in the room, where your thinking feels inadequate, because that discomfort is growth, that pressure is transformation. That is the soil where million-dollar mindsets are formed, and only then will your actions rise to match your vision. So do not underestimate the power of walking away. Do not fear the silence that comes with leaving a circle that no longer serves you. Do not cling to dead weight out of fear of being alone, because in the silence you will hear your own voice again. In the solitude you will find your true hunger again. In the loneliness you will attract new connections that are aligned with your growth. Because nature abhors a vacuum, once you let go of what no longer serves you, new energy flows in. New opportunities appear. New doors open. But as long as you cling to the old, the new cannot arrive. And this is where most people fail. They never let go. They keep dragging the past into their future and wonder why nothing changes. Hear this clearly, wealth is not just about money. It is about mindset. It is about responsibility. It is about freedom, and that freedom requires you to become someone different, someone sharper, someone disciplined, someone resilient. And you cannot become that person while clinging to old habits, old circles, old thinking. It is like trying to fly while holding on to weights. You will never leave the ground. You will exhaust yourself and think you are cursed. But the truth is you are simply chained, and the chains are your environment. Your habits, your circle, your comfort zone. Break those chains and you will rise. Stay bound, and you will die with your dreams still locked inside you. Life is short. Every day you waste in the wrong environment is a day stolen from your destiny. Every year you spend surrounded by small thinkers is a year stolen from your future wealth. Every moment you spend in gossip and complaints is energy, stolen from creation and execution. So ask yourself, how much longer will you tolerate it? How much longer will you betray your own vision just to belong? How much longer will you dim your light just to make others comfortable? Because there comes a time when you must choose, and that choice defines everything. Do you stay or do you rise? Do you conform or do you transform? Do you think 20 or do you think million? And the answer to that question is not in words but in action, in the people you allow in your life, in the standards you set, in the sacrifices you make, in the discipline you commit to. And once you choose, once you decide you are done with $20 thinking, once you commit to the $1 million mindset, everything changes. Your eyes open, your energy shifts, your circle evolves, and the world begins to respond. Opportunities appear that were invisible before. Ideas flow that you never saw before. Doors open that were always there but you never noticed because your mind was blind. Abundance becomes possible not because the world changed, but because you changed, because your environment changed, because your mindset changed. And once you reach that place, once you taste that power, you will never go back, because you will understand finally, deeply, that you will never earn $1 million if you stay around people with a $20 mindset. But once you leave them, once you step into the right circle, the $1 million becomes inevitable. And the only question left is not if, but when. Like, share, subscribe to the Positive Pulse.